Elon Musk isn't just changing the future of space and tech, he's raising 14 children across multiple continents. From secretive births to public appearances, each of Musk's kids has a story that few know. In 2025, their names, mothers, and current lives reveal a complex family navigating fame, innovation, and privacy. Here's the shocking truth about where Elon's children are today. Nevada Alexander. When Elon Musk and his first wife, Justine Wilson, married in 2000, they were still at the beginning of their adult lives, brimming with ambition and hope for the future. Musk was working tirelessly to build the foundations of his career, while Justine was pursuing her passion for writing. In 2002, they experienced what should have been one of the happiest milestones of their young marriage, the birth of their first child, Nevada Alexander Musk. Nevada was born in 2002 in California, and for a brief period he became the center of the couple's world. Like many new parents, Elon and Justine poured their attention and love into their baby boy. For them, Nevada symbolized the start of their family and the life they had envisioned together. But tragically, that dream was shattered within just 10 weeks. According to Justine, who wrote about her devastating loss in a 2010 essay for Marie Claire, the tragedy struck without warning. Nevada went down for a nap, placed on his back as always, and stopped breathing, she shared, describing the moment that would alter their lives forever. Their infant son had fallen victim to sudden infant death syndrome, SIDS, a condition that remains one of the most heartbreaking and least understood causes of infant mortality. Paramedics rushed to the scene, and Nevada was resuscitated. But by the time help arrived, the damage had already been done. He had been deprived of oxygen for so long that his brain function could not be restored. By the time the paramedics resuscitated him, he had been deprived of oxygen for so long that he was brain dead, Justine wrote with painful honesty. Nevada was transferred to a hospital in Orange County, where he was placed on life support. For 3 days, Elon and Justine stayed by his side, clinging to a thin thread of hope. But as the doctors explained, his condition was irreversible. The machines were keeping his body alive, but his brain had suffered catastrophic damage. After much anguish, they were forced to make the most agonizing decision of their lives. Justine described the heartbreaking moment with stark clarity. He spent 3 days on life support in a hospital in Orange County before we made the decision to take him off it. I held him in my arms when he died. With those words, she conveyed the depth of a mother's grief, having to cradle her firstborn child as his short life came to an end. The loss of Nevada left an indelible mark on both parents. For Justine, writing became a way to process her grief, and she openly shared her story years later to shed light on SIDS and the reality of parental loss. For Elon, who is known for his focus on work and technology, the experience was a deeply personal tragedy that he has rarely spoken about publicly. Those close to the couple at the time noted how the devastating loss shaped the early years of their marriage and their outlook on family. Vivian Jenna Wilson and Griffin. After the heartbreaking loss of her first child, Nevada Alexander Musk, Justine Wilson turned her grief into determination. In her candid Marie Claire essay, she admitted that she coped with the trauma of losing Nevada by almost immediately seeking to become a mother again. I buried my feelings, coping with Nevada's death by making my first visit to an IVF clinic less than 2 months later. Elon and I planned to get pregnant again as swiftly as possible. Within the next 5 years, I gave birth to twins, then triplets, she wrote. Those children would become an important part of Elon Musk's legacy, but their family life was far from simple. The couple's twins, Griffin and Xavier, were born in 2004, followed by triplets Kai, Saxon, and Damian in 2006. After Musk and Wilson divorced in 2008, their children largely grew up outside the spotlight, with occasional glimpses surfacing through Musk's public appearances and rare comments. Yet in April 2022, The Musk family became the subject of widespread media attention when Xavier Musk, one of the twins, petitioned a California court to legally change her name to Vivian Jenna Wilson, taking her mother's surname. At the same time, she requested a legal recognition of her gender as female. In court documents obtained by People, Vivian wrote bluntly that she no longer wished to be related to my biological father in any way, shape, or form. By June 2022, her petition was granted, marking a profound personal break from the world's richest man. Musk, for his part, attempted to explain the estrangement later that year. Speaking with the Financial Times in October 2022, he suggested Vivian's rejection of him stemmed from political influences rather than family dynamics. He claimed elite schools and universities had been overtaken by neo-Marxists who equated wealth with evil, remarking, "It's full-on communism," and a general sentiment that if you're rich, you're evil. The relationship may change, but I have very good relationships with all the others, children. Can't win them all. But the rift deepened further in July 2024. Musk alleged in an interview that he had been tricked into allowing Vivian to undergo gender-affirming medical treatments and went so far as to say that his son is dead. Vivian, no longer willing to remain silent, issued a sharp rebuttal on Threads, insisting his version of events was false. "This entire thing is completely made up, and there's a reason for this. He doesn't know what I was like as a child because he quite simply wasn't there. And in the little time that he was, I was relentlessly harassed for my femininity and queerness," she wrote. Speaking later to NBC News, Vivian explained why she went public. "I think he was under the assumption that I wasn't going to say anything, and I would just let this go unchallenged, which I'm not going to do, because if you're going to lie about me, like blatantly to an audience of millions, I'm not just going to let that slide. He was there, I want to say, maybe 10% of the time. That's generous. He had half custody, and he fully was not there." Her words sparked widespread discussion, and support soon followed from people close to her. Grimes, the musician who shares 3 children with Musk, publicly defended Vivian on X, posting, "I love and am forever endlessly proud of Vivian." Vivian herself did not hold back in subsequent months. In August 2024, she made several scathing remarks on Threads, calling her father pathetic and labeling him a serial adulterer. By contrast, her twin brother Griffin has largely stayed out of the headlines. In May 2024, he accompanied Musk to an American Express event in Miami, with Musk posting a photo of the two together and writing, "That's my eldest son, Griffin, who was with me at the event." By March 2025, Vivian was continuing to carve her own path, often sharing her perspective with media outlets. Speaking with Teen Vogue, she distanced herself even further from Musk's sprawling family tree. "I will say I do not actually know how many siblings I have, if you include half-siblings. That's just a fun fact. It's really good for 2 truths and a lie. I found out about the Siobhan Zilis thing the same time everyone else did." Her comment referred to Musk's twins born in 2021 with Neuralink executive Siobhan Zilis, children whose existence became public only after court filings surfaced. That same month, Vivian appeared in an interview with YouTube influencer Hassan Piker, where she directly challenged the idea that her gender identity had influenced Musk's politics. "My transition isn't some tragic character motivation that led to my dad's political leanings. Elon Musk was not a liberal darling. I know him. He was never on the left. It was a marketing scheme," she said, pushing back against a narrative her father had floated in previous interviews. Kai, Saxon, and Damian, after enduring unimaginable heartbreak with the loss of her first child, Nevada Alexander Musk, and later finding hope again through IVF with the birth of twins Griffin and Xavier, now Vivian Jenna Wilson, in 2004, Justine Wilson and Elon Musk chose to expand their family even further. In 2006, their household grew considerably when Justine gave birth to triplet boys, Kai, Saxon, and Damian. Like their older siblings, the triplets were conceived through in vitro fertilization, a detail Wilson later shared during a 2017 TED Talk where she reflected on her path to motherhood and the choices she made to build a family after tragedy. Unlike Musk's public ventures, Tesla, SpaceX, and countless interviews, the triplets have lived mostly outside the spotlight. Both Elon and Justine have generally avoided speaking about the boys in public, preferring to shield them from the level of scrutiny that inevitably follows one of the most famous and controversial figures in the tech world. Still, occasional details about their lives have surfaced, offering glimpses into the personalities of the three brothers. In Walter Isaacson's 2023 biography, Elon Musk, the author shed rare light on the triplets, particularly focusing on Damian Musk. According to Isaacson, Damian stood out early for his sense of personal responsibility toward the environment. At just 8 years old, he made the unusual decision to become a vegetarian, explaining that his motivation was to decrease my carbon footprint. Such a declaration from a child reflected not only an awareness of global issues, but also the influence of growing up in a family where technology, innovation, and the future of the planet were constant topics of discussion. Beyond his ethical convictions, Damian demonstrated exceptional academic and artistic talent. Isaacson described him as a classical music prodigy, someone with a natural gift for the piano. He also excelled in traditionally demanding subjects like math and physics, areas where many of Musk's children have shown aptitude. But what distinguished Damian was his ability to merge the technical with the creative. His immersion in classical music added a dimension to his intellectual life that extended beyond the expectations often associated with being Elon Musk's son. Musk's own mother, Mae Musk, herself a celebrated model and nutritionist, openly expressed admiration for her grandson. In a remark that must have carried weight even within such a competitive and ambitious family, she reportedly told her son, "I think Damian is brighter than you." Coming from Mae, who raised Elon through lean years in South Africa before watching him rise to become one of the most influential figures of the 21st century, this was no small compliment. It underscored just how striking Damian's intelligence and abilities appeared to those closest to him. XEA12. When Elon Musk and musician Grimes announced they were expecting their first child together in early 2020, the internet erupted with curiosity and speculation. Grimes, known for her avant-garde artistry and unconventional approach to public life, revealed her pregnancy in January 2020 with a striking Instagram post that featured her baby bump. Just a few months later, on May 4, 2020, she and Musk welcomed a son whose name would capture global headlines, XE12 Musk. The baby's unusual name instantly became a cultural talking point. Initially spelled XEA12, it was later slightly modified to XEA12 to comply with California law, which requires legal names to use characters from the 26-letter English alphabet. The name reflected a fusion of Musk's passion for technology and aerospace with Grimes's unique artistic vision. Musk proudly explained that the A12 was his contribution, referencing the CIA's Lockheed A-12 reconnaissance plane, a sleek aircraft that predated the SR-71 Blackbird. Grimes, however, provided her own layered interpretation. In the comments of her Instagram post, she broke down the pronunciation. "It's just X, like the letter X, then AI," she wrote. "Like how you said the letter A, then I." Musk, appearing later on the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, offered a slightly different explanation, saying the E should be pronounced like Ash. While debates over the pronunciation of his name swirled online, the couple affectionately nicknamed their son X. Despite the eccentricity of his moniker, his early years were filled with ordinary parental moments, though many of them played out in the public eye because of who his parents were. At just 2 years old, X found himself in the middle of his father's high-stakes business world. According to the Washington Post, In October 2022, Musk brought the toddler with him to X's San Francisco headquarters, then recently renamed from Twitter, for a meeting with Trust and Safety Officer Yoel Roth. As Musk and his team debated the platform's future, X darted around the building, making himself at home in the conference room, which reporters later described as strewn with toys. The sight of the boy running through the office during a tense corporate moment humanized Musk in a way that rarely occurred. X continued to appear alongside his father at public events. In April 2023, he attended the MMA Global Possible Conference in Miami, where audience members were charmed by the little boy's playful interaction with Musk on stage. Around that same time, Grimes opened up about her son's growing fascination with rockets. X knows a lot about spacecraft. It's crazy, she admitted in an interview. He knows more about rockets than me. But his enthusiasm had a darker side. When SpaceX's Starship rocket exploded shortly after takeoff in April 2023, the event deeply unsettled the toddler. Grimes recalled that he suffered a 3-day PTSD meltdown, waking up throughout the night repeating the word Starship as she tried to comfort him. By 2025, X was no longer just a toddler watching rockets. He was accompanying his father into some of the highest halls of power. In February 2025, he was photographed at the Oval Office as President Donald Trump signed an executive order granting new powers to the Department of Government Efficiency. The appearance surprised even Grimes, who posted on X that she only found out her son had been there through a user's message. "He should not be in public like this," she wrote, adding, "I did not see this. Thank you for alerting me. But I'm glad he was polite. Sigh." Just a few months later, in May 2025, Musk sparked another round of headlines when he appeared at a White House press conference with a noticeable black eye. When asked about it, he gave a characteristically blunt answer. "I was walking around with little X and I said, 'Go ahead and punch me in the face.' And he did. I didn't really feel much at the time, but I guess it bruises up." Strider and Azure. In a family history already filled with surprises, few revelations generated as much intrigue as the news that Elon Musk had quietly welcomed twins with Siobhan Zilis in late 2021. Court documents later obtained by Insider revealed that Musk and Zilis became parents to a son, Strider, and a daughter, Azure, who were born in November 2021 in Austin, Texas. The twins arrived at a particularly complex moment in Musk's personal life, just weeks before he and musician Grimes welcomed their daughter, Exa Dark Cidereel Musk, via surrogate in December of the same year. The existence of the twins remained a closely guarded secret until mid-2022, when paperwork filed in a Texas county court surfaced. According to the documents, Musk and Zilis had petitioned the court in April 2022 to legally adjust their children's names so that they would have their father's last name and contain their mother's last name as part of their middle name. This legal move suggested both parents wanted to strike a balance, acknowledging Musk's name while ensuring Zilis's surname was preserved in their identities. At the time, the secrecy surrounding the birth raised eyebrows. Not only because of Musk's already sprawling family, but also because of Zilis's professional role. A rising figure in the tech world, Zilis had worked closely with Musk through Neuralink, the brain-computer interface company he co-founded. Her association with him extended beyond professional admiration. She was widely seen as one of Musk's most trusted lieutenants, particularly in ventures tied to artificial intelligence. The revelation that their professional relationship had also become personal added layers of complexity to Musk's already dramatic family narrative. For nearly 2 years after their birth, details about the twins were scarce. Musk, usually outspoken on topics ranging from Tesla production schedules to space colonization, offered almost nothing about Strider and Azure. Zilis, who has maintained a far lower public profile than Musk's other partners, similarly avoided discussing the children. This privacy gave rise to speculation, especially given the overlapping timelines with Musk's relationship with Grimes. The twins' names and sexes were finally confirmed in September 2023, when Strider and Azure were about 16 months old. By then, Musk had publicly acknowledged his expanding family tree, though he stopped short of providing intimate details. The names themselves, Strider and Azure, were characteristically unusual, fitting with Musk's penchant for distinct, futuristic-sounding monikers. Strider evokes imagery of movement, exploration, and strength, while Azure conjures the vastness of the sky or ocean, a poetic nod, perhaps, to boundless possibility. Exa Dark Cidereel. When Grimes sat down for her 2022 Vanity Fair interview, she shocked readers by casually revealing a secret she had managed to keep for months. She and Elon Musk had quietly welcomed a baby girl in December 2021, just 3 months after their highly publicized breakup. The child was born via surrogate, and with her arrival came another one of the unusual, deeply symbolic names that the couple has become famous for bestowing upon their children. Her full name was given as Exa Dark Cidereel Musk, though the world would soon come to know her by different variations. Grimes explained to Vanity Fair that the name was far from arbitrary. Instead, it represented a fusion of her scientific fascinations, philosophical musings, and love of fantasy literature. The first part, Exa, was drawn from the world of supercomputing, specifically the term exaflops, which refers to the ability of a computer to perform 1 quintillion floating-point operations per second. It was a nod both to cutting-edge technology and to the futuristic world she often explores through her art. The middle portion, Dark, was Grimes' way of reclaiming and reframing a concept often viewed with fear. To her, darkness was not a void, but a symbol of infinite possibility. People fear it, she told the outlet, but truly, it's the absence of photons. Dark matter is the beautiful mystery of our universe. It was a deeply poetic explanation, tying together her love of science, philosophy, and cosmic mystery into a single syllable. The final portion of the name, Cidereel, carried its own layers of meaning. Pronounced Cidereel, it was intentionally styled as a more elven spelling of the word sidereal, which refers to the measurement of time based on the Earth's movement relative to the stars rather than the sun. Grimes described it as the true time of the universe, star time, deep space time, not our relative Earth time. But beyond its scientific roots, the name also carried a personal layer, a tribute to Galadriel, her favorite character from The Lord of the Rings, whom she admired for choosing to abdicate the ring instead of succumbing to its power. For months, little Exa remained entirely private, a figure more of fascination than reality to the public. That changed briefly in March 2023, when Grimes surprised fans by posting a rare photograph of her daughter on Twitter. The image showed the toddler dressed in a bright red onesie with super blonde, spiked hair, channeling the anime hero Goku from Dragon Ball. Grimes explained in the comments that she usually avoided sharing photos of her daughter for privacy reasons, but in this instance the child was fairly unrecognizable. That same online exchange also revealed that the girl's name had already undergone an evolution. She's Y now, Grimes explained. Or Y, or just, but the government won't recognize that. For the singer, the new moniker carried layers of curiosity and existential meaning, a reflection of her constant questioning of the world. She described it as curiosity, the eternal question and such, perfectly in line with her artistic and philosophical approach to life. By August 2023, Grimes was giving small glimpses into her daughter's growing personality. In an interview, she described Y as a little engineer with oddly specific interests for such a young child. She likes industrial shipping, Grimes said, laughing at the strangeness of it all. She's very strange. The remark captured both her sense of humor and her awe at how children develop their own quirks and passions so early in life. Techno Mechanicus. The life of Elon Musk and Grimes has often played out like a real-world science fiction saga, filled with futuristic ambitions, unconventional choices, and children whose names and personalities seem almost otherworldly. Among their growing family, the birth of their third child together was one of the most secretive chapters. In June 2022, the couple quietly welcomed a second son, whom they named Techno Mechanicus Musk, though he is affectionately referred to as Tao. This addition to the family came at a time when Musk's personal and professional life was already under intense public scrutiny. Yet the arrival of Tao went largely unnoticed until it was later revealed in Walter Isaacson's biography, Elon Musk. Grimes described Tao in terms that felt almost mystical. According to Isaacson, she told the author, "Tao is so amazing. He came out with eyes that could just see so deeply into your soul, with so much knowledge. He looks like a little Spock. He's definitely a Vulcan." Her comparison to the iconic Star Trek character perfectly encapsulated the child's seemingly profound, thoughtful presence even as a newborn. For Grimes, Tao embodied both intelligence and a quiet wisdom that set him apart from the ordinary, yet she also framed her descriptions with humor and warmth, making it clear that she saw him as a real, playful child, not just a fantastical figure in the Musk universe. Despite Isaacson's detailed account, Grimes made it clear to her followers that she intended to protect her youngest son's privacy. Following the biography's release, she wrote on X, formerly Twitter, that she would not be sharing further information or photos of Tao. "I wish I could show you how cute little Techno is," she posted, "but my priority RN is keeping my babies out of the public eye." Please respect that at this time, her message underscored a deliberate effort to shield her children from the intense glare of public attention that had already followed their older siblings, particularly Exa and Exa Dark Cidereel. Grimes's decision to maintain privacy highlights a consistent pattern in her approach to motherhood. While she and Musk have previously been known for their unconventional public personas, Grimes has expressed a desire to give her children space to grow without being constantly scrutinized online or in the press. Tao's birth, coming amid the whirlwind of her breakup with Musk, and the public attention surrounding their first two children, reinforced the couple's commitment, at least on her part, to carving out a private space for their youngest. Arcadia. In June 2024, Elon Musk publicly confirmed the arrival of his third child with Siobhan Zilis, a significant addition to a family that by then already spanned multiple households and continents. Their daughter, Arcadia Musk, was born on February 28, 2024, quietly joining a family already defined by its unconventional dynamics and globally publicized milestones. Unlike some of Musk's other children, whose births sparked immediate media frenzy, Arcadia's arrival initially received relatively modest attention, reflecting a deliberate effort by her parents to maintain privacy and protect her early childhood from the relentless glare of public scrutiny. Zilis, who had previously maintained a relatively low profile despite her high-level involvement with Musk's ventures, particularly Neuralink, shared a rare personal glimpse into her feelings about Arcadia on X, formerly Twitter, 1 year later. In February 2025, in honor of her daughter's first birthday, she posted a simple but heartfelt message: "Mommy loves you with all her heart." Though brief, the post conveyed the depth of maternal affection and pride that Zilis felt, offering a rare window into the family life of a woman usually seen primarily in the context of her professional accomplishments. The choice of the name Arcadia seems to reflect the child's parents' shared appreciation for creativity, nature, and perhaps the aspirational ideals often associated with classical references. Historically, the term Arcadia evokes visions of idyllic landscapes and pastoral harmony, suggesting a sense of serenity and imaginative freedom, qualities that both Musk and Zilis have celebrated in their public and private personas. This naming follows the pattern established with Musk's other children, who often receive names rich with layered meanings and symbolic resonance, ranging from technological references to literary allusions. Seldon Lycurgus. In February 2025, Shivan Zilis made a rare public announcement about the newest addition to her family, revealing that she and Elon Musk had welcomed their fourth child together, a son named Seldon Lycurgus Musk. Unlike previous announcements regarding their children, Zilis did not disclose her baby boy's exact birth date, leaving the world to wonder just how long the family had been quietly celebrating his arrival behind closed doors. The post, shared on X, formerly Twitter, conveyed warmth, pride, and affection in a style consistent with her previous communications about her children, emphasizing both the physical presence and the personality of the newborn. Zilis wrote, "Discussed with Elon, we felt it was better to share directly about our wonderful and incredible son, Seldon Lycurgus. Built like a juggernaut, with a solid heart of gold. Love him so much." The phrasing immediately drew attention, highlighting the balance between the child's strength and tenderness. Describing Seldon as built like a juggernaut evokes a sense of resilience, vigor, and a certain larger-than-life presence, while the mention of a solid heart of gold conveys compassion, warmth, and innate kindness. In just a few lines, Zilis painted a vivid picture of a child who was both robust and loving, suggesting that Seldon would grow up to embody qualities admired in both his parents: intelligence, determination, and empathy. The announcement adds a new dimension to Musk and Zilis's evolving family. By early 2025, the couple had quietly built a sizable household, including twins Strider and Azure, born November 2021, and Arcadia, born February 2024. With Seldon as the youngest, the family structure now encompassed 4 children spanning multiple ages, each with a unique personality and upbringing in a household shaped by extraordinary circumstances. Unlike some of Musk's older children, who occasionally made headlines for their unusual names or public appearances with their father, Seldon entered the world in relative privacy, reflecting Zilis and Musk's apparent preference for shielding their youngest children from intense media scrutiny. Romulus. In February 2025, Ashley Street. Claire took to X to reveal a major development in her personal life, confirming that she and Elon Musk had welcomed a child together. According to her post, the birth had occurred in September 2024, meaning the child had already been 5 months old at the time of the announcement. 5 months ago, I welcomed a new baby into the world. Elon Musk is the father. I have not previously disclosed this to protect our child's privacy and safety, but in recent days it has become clear that tabloid media intends to do so, regardless of the harm it will cause, St. Clair wrote. The statement highlighted her concern for shielding the child from public scrutiny, emphasizing that the decision to remain silent until then was guided by a desire to create a safe and normal environment for her newborn. For that reason, I ask that the media honor our child's privacy and refrain from invasive reporting, she added. The announcement immediately fueled speculation, particularly regarding the timing of the birth relative to Musk's other children. It remains unclear whether St. Clair's child, later named Romulus, arrived before or after Musk and Shivan Zilis welcomed their fourth child, Seldon Lycurgus, earlier in 2025. The sequence of these births added another layer of complexity to Musk's already sprawling and unconventional family tree, which spans multiple partners, children born via surrogacy and IVF, and parents with overlapping timelines. Financial arrangements between Musk and St. Clair quickly became a focal point of public attention. In March 2025, Musk posted on X, claiming that although he had not yet formally established paternity, he had given Ashley $2.5 million and am sending her $500,000 per year. The post drew immediate backlash from St. Clair, who accused Musk of attempting to withdraw support to maintain control and punish me for disobedience. The brief exchange underscored the tension between the couple and highlighted the challenges of co-parenting under public scrutiny. The situation took a decisive turn in April 2025, when the Wall Street Journal reported that Musk's paternity had been confirmed through a LabCorp test, showing a probability of paternity of 99.9999%. St. Clair's spokesperson confirmed the results to People and also revealed the child's name, Romulus, invoking the legendary founder of Rome. The name, consistent with Musk's pattern of giving his children distinctive and historically resonant names, suggested a connection to strength, ambition, and a sense of destiny, qualities often celebrated in Musk's other children. Romulus's birth and the surrounding public discourse illustrate the complexity of Musk's personal life, particularly how it intersects with the media and public perception. St. Clair's emphasis on privacy contrasts sharply with the public curiosity surrounding Musk's other children, highlighting the tension between personal boundaries and intense media scrutiny. She made it clear that her priority was the well-being of her child, emphasizing a desire for a normal and safe environment, despite the inevitable intrusion that comes with being linked to one of the world's most famous and controversial figures. Even as Musk engaged publicly with other high-profile controversies, most notably his feud with Donald Trump in mid-2025, St. Clair demonstrated her characteristic wit in navigating her own public narrative. In a post on X, she joked about her situation, writing, "Hey at real Donald Trump LMK if you need any breakup advice," playfully likening her ongoing disputes with Musk to high-profile political feuds. This quip underscored her ability to approach the situation with levity, even as the complexities of paternity, financial arrangements, and co-parenting were unfolding in real time. What do you think about Elon Musk's kids? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.